No.
Like, especially is it German?
I don't know, I guess. Like my brother used to work at Espenshades Nursery up in...
It sounds like it might be Dutchy to me.
Yeah, it does sound German.
Yeah.
Espenshade?
Yeah.
Definitely sounds German.
Right.
Yeah.
So I figured it out, and now we should be streaming to the right channels. So we should be streaming to YouTube, Porchcast Pottstown, and then Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate.
Oh, I see
so
yeah.
Oh.
And then as soon as some people, start logging in, I'll see them coming in. Thanks for coming in. This is Porchcast Pottstown. As people are logging in, you're going to notice that we are live at Wolf Baldwin and Associates.
Bringing you fine legal
Yes, bringing you fine legal representation.
In the borough of Pottstown.
Yeah, there's been a change of pace. Pub is having some infrastructure
problems. Yes.
So they're not
Get
open
that
tonight.
Infrastructure bill going, folks.
Yeah. Something does need to happen. I mean, in these older communities, some of these sewer laterals are over 100 years old.
So you mean where the sewer goes into the
Correct.
building? Oh, yeah. Well, if you live in a house perhaps on Hanover Street, you know these things.
Right.
Right.
There's still terracotta pipes down there.
Oh, mine definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just had to have roots ground out of it over the summer.
Yeah.
We couldn't even find it because the trap that you go to is buried in my yard. And it's a whole thing.
Fun.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is all infrastructure stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It would be good if some communities could get some type of money to help people fix this kind of stuff.
Right. But those are typically homeowner
That's
responsibilities. Once it goes from the main or whatever it's called to the house, those are the pieces that get all filled with roots and
something needs to happen. Maybe some grant program or something.
Right.
Susie Marcucci Kennedy, thanks for tuning in.
Audra the Hammer.
Audra the Hammer rolls.
Thanks for tuning in. What is this thing that says community standards?
I don't know.
I have to click something. Does anybody else have that button in their comments? It says community standards. These policies come from feedback from people on Facebook and the advice of experts.
It's probably saying don't be a jerk.
Bullying and harassment and hate speech. And it says, I understand. Okay, I have to say that I understand the community standards.
Oh, I don't have it. It's just you. They're worried about
just
you alone.
Me?
Yeah.
Me
and Matt were good.
What have you been saying? I'm probably not.
I think Facebook has heard my mouth.
Well, this listens to you all the time, so.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, on my end of things, if somebody does get out of hand in the chat, I can cut them off.
Yeah.
So we've been pretty good about that here on Porchcast Pottstown. We really haven't had a whole lot of problems.
To kick one person out. I haven't seen him in a while.
No, and it was just temporary. Yes. It was just a temporary thing. I have to put this back up on too. Matt Green and Amy Wolf, we're your hosts of Porchcast Pottstown. Thanks for tuning in. People want to know who we're talking about. So today with us, we have Joshua D. Taylor, who was a local author and writer.
Did you mean that text for me or for somebody else?
Yeah, that was not meant for you.
Okay,
you were the last person I texted.
Hi.
That's why I didn't give it back. Okay,
right.
yeah. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here.
So, Joshua, tell us what's going on with the first. Tell us what's going on with the Pottstown Area Writers Group, because I have that in the caption up there on the screen.
Yeah.
So if you explain that to people right off the bat, we can help them understand why you're on the show tonight and what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, and we did, for regular viewers of the show, we did talk about it the last couple of weeks. I announced it. So
yes,
it shouldn't be,
it
shouldn't be unfamiliar to regular viewers.
Yeah. Okay. So I am hosting sort of like a writing group, or as Amy said earlier, like a round table. We at Samana Holistic Center next Wednesday, the 26th at 7:00. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. I have it.
It should be in there.
Make sure you put it in
my notes.
Yeah.
7:00. Yeah, which we're just inviting any sort of authors, whether professional or amateur or even aspiring, to please come by. We're gonna have topics. We're gonna introduce ourselves, talk what we're working on. I have some stuff we're gonna talk about. I'm not going to be lecturing to you. It's not going to be that kind of class. That's why we're calling it like a round table as opposed to a workshop. Right. So I have some
like idea sharing as opposed to I'm going to tell you how to write a book and become a successful author. Yes. That's not the
Yes, exactly. I mean, I am a published fiction author, but I do not have a I do not have a creative writing degree. So we're all going to learn from each other. I'm going to be facilitating this. I'm not going to be lecturing.
Okay. And is this something that you've participated in before? Or is this the first time you're conducting something like this?
No, this is brand new. It's going to be a first for me and everyone there. So we'll learn a lot from each other and have a lot of fun.
So it really will be a learning experience for everyone.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
That's neat.
So what kind of people should think about coming to the roundtable workshop?
I mean, really anyone interested in writing. Like I said, you could be professional or just an aspiring writer. Even if you don't write now, but you want to, and you want to meet some other people who are interested in the same things you are. Really anybody. And I write, like science fiction, fantasy, speculative fiction, that sort of thing. But it can be anybody. If you're writing an autobiography, if you write journals, anything that you're interested, you want to bring something with you to share, to talk about, looking for critique, we'll welcome anyone.
Right. And there's no charge for that, right?
Or no, yeah.
Okay.
No, I do not believe there was a charge. We decided not to go with that.
Yeah, so why not? So if you are somebody that likes to write or is interested in writing, or you want to share your ideas and just talk to other writers, sometimes you can get inspired just by talking to other people that are in similar situation as you. Like you said, maybe you've got writer's block, or you just want to share, ask for some critique on some writing. And just meet other people.
Exactly. I've met lots of really great people online. Mm-hmm. Nice to meet people in the area that I live, that I can see, and spend time with outside or wherever. Well, this won't be outside, but yeah.
No, there's something that helps the creative process in order to do that stuff in person with other similarly minded individuals, right? There's a certain synergy or an exchange that you get that you don't get from online or even from writing letters back and forth. Like there's something about that interpersonal social interaction.
Yeah, and I think that is even for anything, not just for writers, but like I know when I sit down with other people that do the same thing that I do, like other law office managers, that people that have similar hurdles and issues that they need to try to solve. It's just really helpful to bat ideas around and be like, oh, how do you handle this issue, or how do you deal with this? It's really helpful.
And I think when you're first starting out too, so for newbies or people that are starting out, or maybe they've never published a book themselves or anything like this, there's always those questions and they're not always necessarily questions. It's that kind of self-doubt that you have when you're first starting out. Right. Can I do this? Should I do this? Like, think about how long we struggled with Porchcast Pottstown and bringing that, right?
Sure.
And we sat down with multiple people in order to try to work through that.
Right.
Just do it.
Talked about it. And then finally there was a pandemic and we decided that we were just going to do it.
Just do it.
Right. And figured it out along the way.
Right. So the Pottstown Area's Writers Group is, I think, a similar type situation, right? Show up and do it.
It's exactly like that. I mean, self-doubt is just huge, is the writers, I feel like, biggest enemy. Yeah. You will certainly doubt yourself. It took me years and years, bordering on decades, to finally sit down and start writing and actually sort of enjoy myself and not just try something and quit and try and write and quit. Yeah.
Right.
So I figure a supporting group would definitely help a lot of people for that. Yeah.
So let's go ahead.
I was going
to go back to the beginning of the process. Like, how did you get here?
Right. So what's your process? Like, how do you, because writing takes a certain amount of it. Not only does it take effort, obviously it takes effort, but it takes a certain amount of discipline to sit down on a regular schedule and put words on paper and then go back and edit that stuff, rewrite it, reread it, all of that stuff. What's your process for developing that discipline to write?
Oh, I'd probably have more stuff written if I was more disciplined. So not fantastic. Whenever I can, essentially, I just, just whenever I have spare time, I work on writing, try to squeeze it in there, like a lunch breaks and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or what we're doing right now is, now that my son is old enough to do a little bit of daycare, my wife will do like where's that? Torque in Spring City, Phoenixville. It's like yoga and bar and spin bikes. Yeah, so they have a little childcare. So she will go there, take him there. I will go to the Starbucks down the corner and sit and write and work on things there.
Okay.
If there's time at home, I just try to squeeze it in anywhere. I'm not disciplined where I do work on it every day from 6 to 7 before work.
No, every Thursday I'm gonna write for 3 hours.
Like I was just on vacation for like a week and just blew it off the whole time. But
so like some people are committed to like putting a certain amount of words on paper every day. Like I had a friend who committed himself to trying to write 400 words a day. And sometimes it was just gibberish, but it was part of his process
Mhm.
to sit down and put those words on paper, right?
Right.
So what type of writing do you do? What are you into? What's your genre or your topic or your niche?
I mean, I like to just tell people either like weird fiction or just speculative fiction in general. This is sci-fi, fantasy, and a lot of stuff that sort of like falls in between there.
Okay. And was this something that's always been a part of you? Have you always been interested in this? Like as a kid, were you the guy that watched all the Star Trek episodes or the Star Wars stuff?
Yeah. What?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Big fan of make believe as a kid, and this is just essentially an extension of that.
Okay.
Taking those same ideas and writing them down.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of learned to read from comic books. I struggled with reading a lot as a kid.
Okay.
And just comic books are something that held my attention enough
Mhm.
to sort of get through it. And then I moved on to actual books. I've always been a pretty voracious reader. Just, lagged a little bit in the days of the internet and social media. But so I always wanted to read. Always, when you want to create your stories, you read something, you see something, you say, well, that's neat, but I could do this. Or this idea sticks with that idea. And I tried many, many times over the years growing up. I'd sit down, I'd write half a page, you read it, and you're like, this is trash.
Right.
Like, this is terrible. You throw it out, and I'd say, no, I can't do this. I don't have what it takes. Give up for a few years. But just, the ideas, they don't stop. They just keep coming. They're up there. You want to share them, so you try again. You write a few things, like, oh, God, this is awful. And then sometime, so I'm 38 now, must have been in my mid-30s, where I was just like, I need to see if I can, after I had told myself I would never try to write again, just to give up the dream, I was like, all right, well, I got to try one last time. So I'm going to try to write some short stories. I think I wrote a few, like, what would they call, like, flash fiction, which are like 500 to 1,000 words, just little teeny stories. And I wrote a few of those, and I was fairly happy with them. I was like, okay, like, I can actually put together a cohesive story that makes sense.
Right.
And went from there. For a year, I think I did like a fiction blog, like as a fictional character, not like a real blog in the real world. I did that for about a year and proved it like once a week. I put out like a several 100-word little blog post on this fictional character who lived in a town and did paranormal investigations and stuff.
Okay.
But I stuck with that for a year. I was like, okay, I did this every week for a year.
Yeah, you were consistently writing.
I mean, I've looked back at it. It's not fantastic, but that's really not the point anyways. But so I kind of knew that I could do that. And I just got involved in some Facebook groups with other writers. And then I found out about just sort of the online publishing industry. And what the small publishers do, they do a lot of anthologies. Some of them do publish novels and novellas and stuff like that. It's a lot of anthologies.
And anthology being like a collection?
Yes, a collection of stories from multiple authors. Right? Well, this is a collection, which is a bunch of stories from one author. An anthology is multiple authors. Be fussy about my terms.
Right, okay, yeah.
But and what you come across is a publisher will say, hey, I'm putting together a book of stories about the sea, horror, or nothing in particular. Send me stories of this length or this topic, this thing, whatever. And you send those in and they'll accept the ones, they like and maybe pay you a pittance.
Right.
And then that's how you get published. And then you can buy them on Amazon usually, either, through Kindle or, hardcover, paperback. Yeah. And that is how I started. Yeah, I sent one in. I said, if I could just get one story published, like that would validate me. My entire existence to be a published author. I could see my words written down in front of me. Right. And I did that. I said, well, maybe that was a fluke. Let me do one. Let me get one more. Now I think I've got like 36 different publications at this point.
So with that very first article or the very first short story that you had published, how did you find that publisher, or was it from a group that you were in?
It was just by chance. It was a writing group called Writing Bad, which is for, it says it's okay to be a bad writer. That's fine. So it was a very supportive group. And someone in there was like, hey, I just started a publishing company, which is on indefinite hiatus now, but they were blanking out. Stormy Island Publishing, of course, yeah. And then the book was Salty Tales, Tales by the Sea. Okay. And then, we're looking for Tales by the Ocean. So I wrote 3 wildly different stories that were, a little over 1,000 words each, I think, and sent them in. And they accepted one called The Obelisk. Yes, yeah, that was the one, which is actually now also in this.
Okay.
But yeah, and that was it. That's how it started. So I said, oh, well, I can do this. And I went on at least a 2-year bend of just, doing as many as I possibly could. And I've kind of come down from that, where I don't do a lot of submissions through anthologies right now, partially because I have a child that I'm looking at that my wife are busy with.
They kind of, they do that, don't they?
Yeah, he's go. This man doesn't like to nap either. He's go.
Oh,
And I'm just working on like longer, larger
you have
projects
to pay
of my
extra for
own.
the napping model. We paid extra for the napping model. The kid napped until he was 5 years old.
Man,
yeah.
No.
We're getting a lot of good comments in the comment section. I'm trying to put some of those up onto this screen as I possibly can. It seems to me that the writer's workshop is inspiring a lot of people. Elizabeth Deviney is saying that she's going to go. Audra the Hammer Ross is interested in a writing group. And then Lydia F. Lee is being inspired by knowing that there's other people in the area that share her passion for writing. So that's all good stuff. Now, I do have a couple of things that I'm going to be putting into the chat. I'm going to put links to Joshua's Facebook page. So if you want to link up to him on his Facebook page, I'm going to put a link for that into the chat. And then as we transition the conversation towards what's going on right now, and Josh wants to put up, talk about his book, his current book, I have an overlay on the screen. It's going to show you a picture of the cover of the book that Josh is promoting on the show today. So let's get into that. So
right. Can we take a very brief pause? I just want to say hello to some people.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
So nice, very nice to see Audra here again. I haven't seen you in a little while. And Katie Clark Podpinko. I really just wanted to sing your name, Katie. Hope you're doing okay. My mom is here. Hi, Mom. Gypsy Chris is here. Thank you for tuning in. Trinita, Joe Resevich popped in to say happy birthday to the executive producer.
Executive producer Judy Green. Yes. It is her birthday.
It is her birthday. Is she doing something special?
I don't know. But I have something for her after the show. So I'm going to go over to their house and drop off my card and my little gift for my mom.
Very nice.
And I'll put that up on the screen today.
Very nice. Thank
Judy
you for
Green.
tuning in. Also, Susie, our literary liaison. This is a good episode for you.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Love Susie's quotes.
I see someone here saying they want to write kids' books. You're more than welcome as well. I've got 2 short stories and 2 kids' books. That's not really, I would say, my area of expertise, but I was trying a lot of different things. So I did a few of those too. Yeah. So please, kids' books, anyone, please come down.
Yeah. Trinita, you should write a kids' book about the walking school bus.
Or about how horrible it is to be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, you can write a whole
really
book about
bad
that.
Life decision.
Is that an appropriate kids' book? Yeah.
It could
it's just a jab.
Okay. Oh, maybe here we go. Maybe it's a book called "Mama, Don't Let Your Kids Grow Up to be Cowboys Fans." I just did that right off the cuff. Kathy Skitko is here. Hi, Kathy. Hope that you are recovering well. She's watching, listening, multitasking situation.
Oh, Amy. Sorry, Amy. You're Amy. Kathy. Hi. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So Kathy is, of course, with Hobart's Run, and she shared the post out today and mentioned that Josh is a Hobart's Run neighbor and often frequent cleaner-upper at the Edgewood Cemetery.
Yeah, she emailed me yesterday. Was like, "Are you going to be on the Porchcast?" I was like, "Oh, I should have reached out." I'm terrible at self-promotion, but here we are. So
here we are. Yes, and she found out about it. So, Trinita's giving us the boxing gloves.
Yeah, she is.
She says those are fighting words.
All right, that's fine.
It's okay. It's all in good fun, Trinita. You know, we love you.
So that brings up another good point too. Josh is from Pottstown, right? Did we cover that? I don't know if we said that yet. No, we didn't.
So he's not from Pottstown.
Not from.
But he's been in Pottstown for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived here for the past, I would say it was 15 years. And lived, in
Berks
County before that.
He's not OG like you, but
but 15 years is a good run.
Yes, definitely.
But he lives in the borough is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So this is another reason.
And as a contributor to society.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we only have contributors to society on the show.
Yeah, I live close enough to what's considered the center of town that I'm not allowed to have chickens. I know that. So
none of us are allowed to have chickens.
Should have chickens.
I know. Someone was working on that, I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, some of your friends from Hobart's Run working on chickens.
Yeah.
They love it.
I just want to get a few eggs.
Kathy says your baby is the cutest.
He's charming. He gets it from his mother. It's not from me.
And he's 14 months, you said?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was 14 or 15. I believe 14. Yeah, well, he comes to the meetings at Jack Cassidy's with me. So my wife goes to work out. Okay. And me and the baby sit there in the bar and hang out with everybody. Sure.
Yeah. My husband was on the board for the Carousel at Pottstown for a long time.
Nice. Carousel's wonderful.
And he brought Harrison to many morning meetings.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have a breakfast meeting once a month, and Harrison went to those for ages and ages. So yes, it's good to rope them in when they're young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get them involved in community activities.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our brief little break.
And then we got to talk about this book.
Please don't talk about chickens.
I'm sorry, the sore spot.
That's all right.
Oh, it's a hot button.
It's a reoccurring
It was a
theme.
very short-lived hot button topic. It seems to have.
If you go back to, yes, it seems to have moved forward. But if you go back to some of those past episodes on YouTube, which is where you should go to look at them, I think we had 2 almost entire episodes devoted to chickens. So it was a very hot topic.
For the record, I'm so anti-chicken.
I just put up 2 links in the chat for anybody who's paying attention to the chat. There's a link to Josh Taylor's Facebook page. There's also a link to Amazon. You'll see an Amazon link. That is the link to how you're going to go and buy the book that Jeff, well, I don't know why it's called Jeff.
Jeff's your Wednesday guy.
Yeah.
He's your Wednesday
Josh Taylor wrote this book, which I'm putting up on the screen. Go ahead and tell them about your book.
Yeah, if you guys would go and buy that, my publisher Mel would be very thankful. So she put a lot of money into this thing for us. Okay, yeah. So this is my book. It is Tales from the World Next Door, which I would describe my short stories as they're kind of like an Outer Limits, Tales from the Crypt kind of things. I grew up watching a lot of TV in the 90s. So yeah, so that's kind of how I think about stories with twists.
TV in the 70s,
yeah.
but okay,
Well, that's okay. Yeah. So
did you watch Friday the 13th? Do you remember that series from the 90s?
I remember it was on the Sci-Fi Channel. I don't think I ever watched that one.
Okay, yeah. So that might be like I'm just a little bit older than you, but I used to watch Friday the 13th, and
it was a series?
every episode. Yeah, it was an episode, and it was a haunted. It was a haunted antique shop. And instead of trying to sell the antiques, it was their job to get them back, to get these haunted antiques back into the store,
to keep them from wreaking havoc on the world.
It wasn't usually what I was into, but for some reason I liked that show. And then of course the female lead was very attractive, so that helped too.
I feel like I caught like half an episode of that one time. It sounds familiar enough.
I just thought since you were into Tales from the Crypt that maybe Friday the 13th series was kind of very similar.
Audra the Hammer says she loved it.
Or like Twilight Zone type stuff. Yeah. So that's what people can expect from this book. Stories
those are
in that type of genre.
Yeah, like weird fiction, like either a little horror, a little fantasy, a little science fiction, some stuff in between, kind of all thrown in the blender together. Yeah.
Well, kind of creepy, but not so creepy.
Yeah, and some are creepy. Not all of them are creepy too. There's at least one heartwarming story about Bigfoot in here, I think. That's like 400 words long.
Is there a story about Bigfoot that's not heartwarming? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody loves a Yeti.
Yeah,
no, Bigfoot's not a Yeti. It's a different thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know where you draw the line exactly.
Sasquatch. He's a Sasquatch.
Yeah. I just use the term Bigfoot. I feel like that's
as a general.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I definitely have 2 stories, not both in this book, but both about albino Bigfoot. It's a fixation for some reason. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
When you mentioned a very short, somebody says they're starting a Josh Taylor fan club in Reading.
Is this someone related to me?
I don't know. Megan Elizabeth.
Yes.
Is that your sister or something?
That's my sister-in-law. Yes.
All right, Megan. Well, thank you.
Good.
She's always been a support, and her mother Gail in Gilbertsville has also been a big fan as well. So
awesome.
Hey, listen,
Katie says she loves quick reads. She just added it to her cart.
Oh, thank you so much.
Nice.
Thank you. We'll expect our commission check at some point in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'll send you your 30 cents. Sure, yeah.
So you mentioned a short story that was 500 words or 600 words, and
yes.
It made me think of the short story of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Did you ever read it?
No, I watched the Brad Pitt movie, though. I've not read it, though.
So it was a pretty long movie. It was 2 or 2.5 hours. The short story is about 2.5 pages.
Oh, really? See, I knew it was a story or a book. I didn't realize it was that short.
Yeah,
okay.
So I read the short story after I saw the movie because, of course, what woman didn't see it for that one brief moment when Brad Pitt was like, when Benjamin Button was Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Good-looking Brad Pitt. But really interesting how they could take a 2.5 page, maybe a thousand word short story and turn it into a long movie like that.
But I feel like that's like a great description of the kind of genre. Like, well, what genre would you say that movie is? It's not really fantasy, and it's not
It's not
really
really science
sci-fi.
fiction.
That might be magical realism if we want to
Magical
get down to
realism.
You want to get down to brass
All right,
tacks.
that sounds like some mambo jambo. Magical
Yes,
realism.
it is.
I would call it.
But,
Yeah,
but that's a lot of stuff. A lot of the things in here are kind of like that, where they're kind of strange, kind of odd, but don't really fit into one genre particularly.
Right.
So,
did you grow up reading a lot of science fiction and fantasy?
Yeah, I feel like I grew up reading a lot of science fiction at first.
Okay.
Then, as an angsty teen, transitioned into like vampire and werewolf fiction, as so many of us did, especially in the 90s. I feel like the or maybe that was.
Is that genre has a lot of series that are multiple.
When we're reading,
so my mother-in-law and my husband both like science fiction and fantasy, and there's this series has 25 books. This one has 15 books, and
But yeah, I did read a lot of that. Watched too much TV and movies probably growing up, but so consumed just a lot of different media. So I have a lot of background, a lot of different areas.
Right.
But so I've seen a lot of things. I don't like to write your typical sort of like Lord of the Rings style fantasies. I feel like that's been done. I feel like we've read and seen a lot of that. So I sort of try to take ideas we've seen and try to invert or subvert those and add other things and kind of remix things and present something interesting.
Right. So you do not have a degree in writing, or you didn't major in literature or English even. You were a biology major.
Yes. Pottstown University. Yep.
So were you always writing as a kid? Were you like that kid that was writing stories or like, running the school newspaper or any of that? Or what was the genesis of your writing career?
I think as a kid, like I was young, like I wanted to write comic books or draw comic books. I used to do a lot of like doodling and stuff like that. I kind of just eventually sort of phased the art part. I feel like I needed to like pick one. I feel like the idea was, writing will be easier. You just sit down and you write, right? That's not hard. Like drawing, that's like art. Right? That's hard. You just sit right. Yeah, no, that's not true at all. But that's sort of why I went in that direction.
You mean the words don't flow out of your fingertips onto the keyboard?
Even remotely. I know some people would just sit down and knock out like a few thousand words, but I've never been one of those type of writers. It's always much more of a struggle to sort of get through things sometimes.
Right, so you have the concept in your head, but you can't get it onto the paper.
There's a million memes about like the idea in your head versus what it looks like when you write it, and just like not like super focused. So you start working on a thing like, well, let me go look at this over here. I get distracted easily, so that's fine though.
Right.
Do you have anybody that you like work with or want to call like a mentor, or somebody that you look up to, or somebody that you meet with or talk to on a regular basis that kind of maybe keeps you on track or helps you share ideas or create themes, things of this nature?
I mean, I should always, of course, thank my wife, Christy, for supporting me and watching our child while I am here doing this, while she watched him all day while we were at work. And she's, always a huge supporter and proofreads a lot of my work and stuff like that. And Christy? Christy.
Thank you, Christy, if you're watching.
She'll be watching it at some point at the very least.
I'm too busy to be watching. We have a 1-year-old.
Yes, probably. That's probably what it is. That guy's probably tearing the house apart right now. And the woman who published this, Melissa from United Fatum Publishing, she's always been a big supporter of mine. We became friends on that first anthology I did. We just both happened to be on there, and then we were just writers at that point, got to be friends. And then she took over a small publishing company from someone else. She's published a number of my work, so she's always been a big friend and supporter, and someone who I've gone to for advice. She's, I think, self-published like a trilogy of novels like 10 years ago and stuff like that. So she's been in the game for longer than I have.
Right on. So I know that we've picked up a few more watchers during the course of the show. So I just want to repeat, we're sitting down with Joshua D. Taylor, who is a local author and writer. And by local, I mean he lives in the borough of Pottstown.
Like right over there.
In the neighborhood that we're currently in.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, if you see me on the street, just call me Josh.
Josh, right?
Yeah.
Josh is the Joshua is the professional, the writer name, right?
Yeah.
And Josh is going to be doing a writers group or
workshop, roundtable,
facilitating. Those are all good words.
Yeah.
The Pottstown area's writers group, which is going to happen at Samana on what's the date for that coming up?
Next Wednesday, the 26th. And we have a second one scheduled for February 9th. Depending on how those go, we may see about doing more. I'd certainly like to do more. So we'll see. Yeah.
And then maybe through that process of developing this writers group, Josh and other people in the area can start to create those relationships where people can hold each other accountable, share ideas, help each other out through writer's block or creating themes, or maybe even what would be interesting would be a Pottstown anthology of stories written by Pottstown writers.
Right.
See, I'm throwing stuff out there.
No, that's
I'm not even
idea.
going to do it, but I'm throwing it out there.
So it wouldn't necessarily be any like topic or theme, but the writers would all be from Pottstown.
All be from Pottstown.
Or maybe the stories would be about Pottstown.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there would be spooky stories about Pottstown.
Oh, yeah. Pottstown's got a history too. We could certainly come up with some spooky stories.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I live across from the cemetery.
Maria or Mariah
Maria.
Joldik?
That's Maria.
How do you say her name?
Joldzik.
Joldzik?
It's Serbian. I'm not good at it either.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
So
she seems to be a
spooky.
fan.
All right.
Yes.
I'm going to check it out.
It's my wife's best friend.
All right.
Right on.
Great.
Hey, and then
We
I'm
appreciate
going to
everyone
put up
tuning in.
another overlay on the screen. And that has, excuse me, as soon as I hide this one thing, there we go. Now you should be able to see it. Samana is hosting Pottstown Area Writers Group with Josh Taylor. And then if you look down there on the bottom, there's a www that's going to take you over to Samana so that you can get registered, contact Samana, find out more information. I also put a link up to Joshua Taylor's Facebook page in the chat comments. I'll throw that up one more time. If you want to hook up with Joshua directly, you can like, friend, message him on Facebook, and I'll put that link up there one more time as well.
Please reach out. Or I see someone suggest maybe a porta potty anthology.
Yes, that's who do you think that is?
I know that's
Is this a
Joe
buddy of yours?
Rusevich. Yeah,
Yes.
and he's him and my girlfriend have been jousting over these porta potties for about 5 or 6 years now. This is an ongoing joke.
Okay.
We could write a short story about their love for each other and their love for each other. Let's just put it that way.
I mean,
That's the nicest way to say it.
I've seen stranger anthologies though. A recent one that I thought was amazing but didn't say anything to was a the genre is called Bizarro Fiction, but it was a Nicolas Cage inspired anthology, which they were calling something like His Spirit is Still Dancing, which is a quote from a Nicolas Cage movie I've never seen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just saw the preview for a new Nicolas Cage movie. I can't remember what it's called. It looks really fantastic.
I'm behind on his movies. I haven't seen anything in a while.
Right. It looks very tongue in cheek, like he's poking fun at himself, which I could totally appreciate.
He has to at this point.
Ridiculous hair plugs. And I don't know if that's a joke or if that's like really how he looks now, but yeah. So that looks good.
That's a guy who's definitely living his best life. I feel like Nicolas Cage, not taking himself too seriously.
No, I think that he's reached this weird point where like he was a decent kind of blockbuster.
Yeah,
actor,
he was at one point.
He kind of became a joke, and now he like knows he's a
It's like
joke. He's a caricature of himself.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's got the reputation for being a little crazy.
Right.
So maybe he's taken that to heart. Maybe he's living
like,
that
I'm
role.
gonna embrace this.
He's become the mask. Yeah.
Right.
You're getting some love from a fangirl there, Lisa Genovese.
Oh, Lisa, thank you. I appreciate you tuning
Thanks
in.
for tuning in. So we appreciate all of these folks. We love having guests on the show that bring a new audience.
Yeah.
So I don't know how local any of these people are, but thank you for tuning in. We are typically a very hyper local news and conversation show. So I appreciate everyone tuning in, and hopefully we'll inspire some folks to show up at the roundtable/workshop.
Yeah, maybe. Lisa is another New Jerseyan, but she has come and been a vendor at the craft fair we had at the Edgewood Cemetery. So she has contributed to the Pottstown economy.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much,
Yes.
Lisa, for supporting the Edgewood Cemetery. And what kind of stuff does she make or sell?
Lisa does like chainmail jewelry that she like hand
Ooh.
makes. She also has like lots of crystals and stuff like that.
Okay, that
too.
kind of-
Yeah, there's lots of
Yeah.
crystals as well, but just really gorgeous chainmail jewelry. Yeah, and
Interesting.
earrings and
I saw her.
necklaces.
I saw her table actually
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I was there doing some work. I like to help out at the Edgewood Cemetery
You just
too.
like to use chainsaws.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, you were cutting up all the
Yes.
trees.
Nothing
Yeah,
wrong-
yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing wrong
No,
with
there's nothing
that.
wrong with that.
Right.
I have a chainsaw certification. If I don't practice, I won't.
Wait,
I
is
won't
that
be able to keep
that's
That's
it.
a
an
thing?
actual thing?
Yeah, when I worked for the Forest Service, you had
Oh,
to
wow.
you had to have a certification in
Nice.
order to run a saw. I'm not anymore.
Got
It's
it.
expired.
Okay. But every Joe Blow that runs
I have a chainsaw too.
on a
I know.
Saturday morning at 7:00.
And they do a
Does
lot
not-
of stuff that could probably get them hurt. They should probably all go take a class.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, I live close to the hospital. I'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't
good,
worry.
Good luck.
I got
You'll be
duct
in
tape and
triage for
super
3
glue.
hours. They'll be like, nope, we don't have room for you. You cut your finger off.
Yeah, now probably not. I've always had good experiences at the Pottstown Hospital, actually. But yeah, right now no one wants to go to the hospital.
I have
Yeah.
also, but I don't want to go right now.
No.
Pottstown Hospital gets a very bad rap. I've always had very good.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we've been there for a few random, very different things, and always very good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very, very fortunate to have a hospital right here in our community, and I hope it stays.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of Edgewood Cemetery, can I make a little segue?
Yeah, so we should probably start segueing into news and events because we're coming down.
I don't have as much as I did last week. Well, but I did want to talk about Edgewood since it ties in with Josh, since he is a contributor to Edgewood and he likes to go to their meetings, even if it is only just to go to Jack Cassidy's.
Yeah, and they buy the food, so I show up and get a Reuben, and
Oh wait, is that where my money is going?
Food
towards your Reuben?
What? No, I'm sure that's out of someone's pocket.
I'm
personally.
sure that's totally out of Andrew's pocket or somebody.
Yeah, actually, I think it is.
Okay, wait, hold on. I think that Elizabeth Devaney just came up with the title of your next short story.
All right.
The Chainsaw Man of Edgewood Cemetery.
Oh, we can certainly
Make
do
it
that.
happen.
We'll sell that to raise funds.
Make it happen. Yes.
That wouldn't be that hard.
All right. So do you all know the story about Frankenstein and how Frankenstein was written?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a challenge.
Yes.
That Mary Shelley and her husband and all these other people were sitting around and they challenged each other to write the spookiest story that they could write. And Mary Shelley, of course, age 19 at the time, came up with Frankenstein, which is one of my favorite books.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's the challenge. We throw it out to everybody that's interested in writing to write the same story. The topic of the story is the Chainsaw Man of Edgewood Cemetery. Write the story.
That could easily be a book. We could make that happen. Sure.
Right?
I know people who could help put that together.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm just, for all of you would-be writers, that's the topic of your story.
Yeah.
Make it happen. We're looking for somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 to 2,000 words. I don't know. I just pulled that out of my ass. Is that like a number? How long are your stories?
Oh man, it varies wildly. Let's say under 5,000 words. Let's
under 5,000.
Under 5,000.
Okay, 5,000 would be like in a book would be how many pages?
Oh, we get like 500 words to a page. So we're talking like 10, 12 pages.
Okay, so we're going to say something in the neighborhood of under 5,000 words. If you would like to write The Chainsaw Man of Edgewood Cemetery, we'll give Elizabeth Devaney the credit for the title.
A production cred.
And the title character doesn't necessarily have to look like Matt, but
that would really be a horror then if it looked like me.
Put you on the cover.
I'm a monster. I'm a beast.
I am interested to see. But even the monster in Frankenstein
he had a heart.
He just wanted somebody to love him.
That's right.
The point is that the Dr. Frankenstein was the real monster who did not love his creation.
1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
He was horrible.
Yep.
Yes. Everybody read that book. It's my favorite.
That is definitely one. I'm not big on the classics, but that's definitely one of the ones you should read.
Classics are my genre that I prefer. And it's a little bit hard sometimes to get into the writing style because the vocabulary and the style of writing is so much different than modern writing.
Can I segue real quickly?
Yes, absolutely.
So one of the stories, speaking of writing in a certain style,
okay.
What is the story in here? Beyond the Firmament was written to be inspired by or in the style of Edgar Allan Poe. So not a style. I mean, I'm not a poet really. So, and his writing is phenomenal. Read The Raven tonight if you have a chance. It is amazing. So I ape it very crudely.
As much as I love the classics, I've never read anything by Poe.
What?
What? I know.
He wrote a lot. The Raven is so good. Just the flow of the rhymes and stuff like that. If you Google like The Raven rap, you'll find people rapping it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, it's so good. But yeah, so that story, Beyond the Firmament, is kind of Edgar Allan Poe inspired. And I think I have a quote of his at the beginning of it.
All right, I'm going to check it out. I've got a bunch of books that my dad gave me. They're like the Harvard series of like the leather-bound books that everybody bought in the 70s, where it's got like Shakespeare and Hugo and all of these, and just kind of condensed into these books.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm sure that there is one of those books in that collection that has
Poe. None of them are that long. I mean,
right.
There's Edgar Allan Poe House in Philly that's very nice to visit. It belongs to the Park Service, I believe. So it's free to go.
Part of the
one in
Park
Baltimore
Service.
you have to pay to visit, but I've done that.
All right.
His grave is nearby.
All right. I will read
Yes,
some and I will report back to you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Let's just segue. Sorry.
All right. So Fundraiser, speaking of Edgewood Cemetery, let's talk about that for a second. Hold on.
Yeah, there was a challenge that was put out by Kathy Skitko and Hobart's Run. They received $1,000 from a Hill alumni, Bud Wendell, and he was looking for someone to match that $1,000 donation that he made. So there was a few of us Porchtonians that stepped up to the plate.
Right.
And you were one of them.
I'm one of them. So on last week's episode, I said, I'll put up $250.
I put up
and
$250.
Folks, here's my $250 right here.
I put up
Going in
$250.
the mail tomorrow.
I'm writing my check to them tonight.
Right.
And then William Paul Broglie, Esquire. He said that he was going to match whatever I did. So he's putting up $250.
I'm rusty on my Porchcast math, but I think that's 3/4.
I
think that's 75%.
It is
of the way to the goal.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we need some other Porchtonians to make up this $250 difference. Now, obviously, if we can exceed that, that would be spectacular.
Be great. Right.
The only thing that we're asking Porchtonians to do is if you do make an Edgewood Cemetery donation, just let them know that you heard it on Porchcast Pottstown.
Yes, please.
That helps us prove to people that we do
that we're doing something.
We're doing something.
So I don't know. I don't think you can make your donations online. I think you have to send the check.
Yeah,
right?
you
so
do.
Like in my
I will
check
put
here,
up the address.
Kathy knows that it's from me.
Right.
Or Andrew will know that it's for the Porchcast, but I just put donation towards match challenge is what I put in my caption.
And I know that the address that those donations need to go to are 740 East High Street, Pottstown. So I'm going to put that address up in the comments so that people who want to make a donation to Edgewood Cemetery can direct that.
After we write the stories, and I mean all of you because I can't write. After everybody writes the stories about the Chainsaw Man of Edgewood Cemetery, we'll get Chad Repko. Do you know Chad?
I know who he is.
Yeah, so he lives in our neighborhood. We'll get Chad to
make a short movie. See, we're getting all these people to do all this work that we're not doing. We're elevator farting.
I love it. I've been waiting to elevator fart. That is my term for when somebody drops an idea and then just walks away and they don't actually execute the idea. They just drop the idea and it makes more work for somebody else. I call that elevator farting. Tamara Charles is chiming in with an excellent idea. Bronwyn and Audra could read the story in character.
I know Bronwyn. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Bronwyn could make a little felt guy of
a puppet
of the Chainsaw Man.
We could sell those. That would be phenomenal.
We are just going completely off on a tangent. Excellent.
Off the rails.
I'm forgetting that the camera's over there. I'm not used to it. I'm like,
and any donations for the cemetery are much appreciated. Just keeping that thing mowed and the trees trimmed is fun. I don't have the numbers. It is phenomenally expensive.
It's like $20,000 a year.
Yeah, it is wild. We have a bunch of wonderful volunteers who pick it up.
Yeah,
do a lot of cleanup there, but still, any donations are greatly appreciated because I live across the street from it. So please keep it mowed. Please.
You know what they should get out there? There's a place in Chester County down in the 5 that's called Woolly Weeders. And
just goats.
It's goats.
The goats.
And they will let goats. What? Andrew, are you watching?
I might keep one though. If one wanders across the street, I'm gonna keep that goat.
Get the goats out there. They just let them loose and they just chew up all the stuff.
When I worked for Chester County down in the Serpentine Pine Barrens, we're getting all overgrown with multiflora rose and a bunch of other plants. They brought goats in to chomp all that stuff down.
Took care of it.
It did help along with some other practices, but it did work. The goats ate all the stuff.
Yeah. So that's like a situation where it's horribly overgrown. And,
it was
and it's
really
like
bad.
You can't even get people in there yet.
Right. And the native plants were getting choked out.
By
the goats mowed everything down and then that gave the native plants a chance to come back up. It is a real thing.
Just a suggestion.
Did you ever see those? Now we're really segueing. Did you ever see those ducks that they have in Spain?
No.
They have these huge flocks of ducks that they take into vineyards, and they eat all the bugs.
Ooh, nice.
That eat the grapes and cause disease in the grapes. And it's the same thing as the goats. They have this certain breed of duck
that don't eat the plant. They don't eat the grapes.
They don't eat the grapes. They eat the bugs, and they take them into these vineyards, and they just.
Another reason I would like chickens. Keep them in your yard. They eat the bugs. Keep things under control. Fertilize.
Zip it over there with the chickens.
Look.
Zip it.
I don't get a rooster. I just want like 3 or 4. I just want some eggs.
Nobody's getting a rooster. You guess what? You can go down to Delia and Dean, support a local business, and get your eggs.
I heard a rooster. I heard a rooster over on Chestnut Street the other day. There's already roosters. It's too late. They're here.
I know for sure it was not my friend on Chestnut Street.
Not your friend, but it was somebody's friend had a rooster over there.
Hey, Jim Kane, thank you for tuning in. He's saying that in Johnstown, on the Riverwalk, they did the same thing.
Yeah.
With the goats.
Yeah.
Jim is just fresh off of trip back to Johnstown with a little Johnstown flu. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, we'll get back to the matching challenge. So we need to raise another $250 for Edgewood Cemetery. Send your checks to Edgewood Historic Cemetery at 740 East High Street. Make sure that you mention Porchcast/matching challenge, and hopefully we can get up to that $1,000. I don't know if there is a deadline. Kathy, if you're still watching, can you let us know if there's a deadline for this match?
Yeah, that would be helpful to know. And it would also prompt people to get their donation in sooner than later.
Yeah, get that John in, will you?
Right on.
All right.
We got a $25 donation.
Excellent. Thank you.
Christy Ulrich.
That's my wife.
That's your wife.
Yes. All right. Well, there you go.
Yes.
So Christy and Josh and I all did the 15-day yoga challenge at Samana.
Yes.
Where we had to post a different pose every day. Of course, I did mine in batches. Like each time I was at the studio, I just had Aaron take pictures of me and batch up. But that was fun.
We were trying to do it every day for a while, but we were in Orlando for like a good chunk of that. My wife ran the Disney Marathon.
Oh,
so the few days after that, there was no yoga poses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I think we did our last bunch like at the airport waiting for our plane at the gate. Yeah.
Great.
Put the kid in the stroller, set him off to the side.
Right.
And we're just like doing yoga at the airport.
So how did she do in the marathon? I mean, that's a real athletic achievement.
It is. Yeah. She's definitely an endurance athlete. She did really good. This is her first, obviously first marathon since having a baby.
Was it full? 26.2?
Yeah, 26.2 miles. Yeah, she came in I hope she doesn't mind me saying her time, 6 hours and 46 minutes. So she's already planning next year to be faster. So we did the 2020 marathon, which was I think right before lockdown started.
Okay.
So
now, do you run these things too, or just her?
No.
Moral support.
No,
right?
yeah, moral
Was this
support.
the first one? No, she's
This is
done
her
it
second
before.
one. Yeah, she did a Disney
one
one in 2020 as well. Was her first one. That was the hottest day, or on record, the hottest that had ever been on that day in Orlando, which is not what you want for a marathon. That's not good.
Holy
It was still, it's January 6th, and it was like really hot.
Some sort of freakishly hot weather.
Yeah,
Orlando's
Katie Clark
weird like that.
Pinko saying congratulations. I mean, that really is a feat running.
I don't do
it's
anything
crazy.
for 6 hours other than sleep.
It's not crazy. It's difficult. It's hard. It's
if you put in the, I am told by her, because I don't do it, but if you put in the training, anyone can do it. You just gotta hang in there.
Right. You just have to know what you're
doing.
But
it's still a lot of dedication to get that done.
I mean, hours and hours of run. Like you gotta do long runs, which take like half the day. And prepping for that. No, it's a long process. It started not that long after she had the baby. So yeah.
That's very impressive. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
She mentions that the cemetery is a great walking path for the baby and a perfect jogging trail. So we have talked about it before, about how beautiful the cemetery is, and it really is a nice go take a walk through there. People used to use cemeteries before the national park system was as it is. People used to use cemeteries as parks.
Yeah, I know that there was some controversy that went around about people thought that doing things in the cemetery was disrespectful, but they're really, like you're saying, there is some historic background in people using cemeteries for recreational purposes. It was a place to go.
Do you know what's even more disrespectful? Letting a cemetery turn to overgrown mess. That's really disrespectful.
I think so too. I think it's disrespectful just to ignore it and not go in there, because at least the people who are going in there are paying some kind of respect and bringing some life into the cemetery. I think as long as it's done in a respectful manner.
Right.
I mean,
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I am
it.
too.
And I think that there was some chatter about, should the fundraiser be done at the cemetery? Well, why not? People have to see what's going on there. They have to see what they're supporting.
Yes, we have the craft fair. We have it there. Yeah, and it's a great space. It really is. Yeah.
Right, and it is beautiful, and I think that it's important for people to see what they're supporting and see what the money is going towards, which is the maintenance of it. And I know they haven't even started to attack like writing stones and things like that, but to see how much work is done, I don't think it's disrespectful at all. Everyone's got their own opinion on it, but I think it's a great thing.
I've always felt positive. I mean, I started participating in the cemetery cleanups back when Randy Doty was organizing them, and then Brian Hyder from Hyder Builders was involved within it for a little while. So I've been doing it for about 10 years or so. And I've always had a positive experience and a positive feeling about going over there
there was
and
nothing
helping
that
out.
Felt like
never,
weird about
not
it.
once.
Right.
No.
Right.
And in fact, one of the first times I went there, I kind of tackled a corner. I was going through some stuff personally in my life. And I just
took
needed
it out
some,
on the weeds.
I did. I took it out on the weeds. I needed some time alone doing some physical labor so I could think about stuff. Right. And I kind of tackled the back corner where Kime and Beach come together. And I uncovered 3 different graves that were completely overgrown that nobody would have seen before. And I felt good about that. I brought that area back to light, back to the daylight, so that people could actually see that there was some folks buried there. It felt good to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, there's a tremendous amount of history in that cemetery.
Oh my God!
Veterans buried there and all sorts of. I don't have all the details on me, but
people that are buried there and prominent members of the Pottstown community. So we appreciate everyone's work there. Bill Broglie is saying he's writing a check for the grass and smoke some pot. Win-win. I do have a couple of other news.
I'll catch up with you on that later, Bill.
All right. So, by the way, Bill, nice new floor in your office.
Yeah, he did. He got their wood floors.
Yeah,
they
look
look
really nice. Yeah. So it is almost the end of January. I do still have a few calendars left. So if you've not bought your beautiful Pottstown calendar featuring the stained glass of Pottstown, please message me or go to pottstowngoforth.com. You can buy a calendar and we will ship it to you, or I'll deliver it to you in person. $20 supports the Pottstown 4th of July efforts, and featuring the beautiful photography of Carol Brightville and stained glass of Pottstown, different homes, businesses, and churches, including somebody who's on the show right now, Susie Kennedy. Her beautiful stained glass is here.
I might have to get one of those from you. I don't have a calendar this year. That looks
$20.
fantastic. Yeah, okay.
Hit me up.
Keep your 4th of July celebration tax free.
There we go.
Right? There's no taxes involved in the 4th of July celebration.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thank you very much, Josh. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, so there is, so Pottstown Go Forth is not supported at all by any sort of taxpayer money. We rent the park. We pay for the police. Everything is paid for. We are a Pennsylvania not-for-profit corporation. We run our funding through Tri-County Community Network. We are under their 501c3 umbrella. But it takes a lot of money to put on the 4th of July. Remember how much fun you had last year? So fun.
I liked it last year. I liked the way you guys had it with the street festival and everything downtown.
Yeah. And the fireworks show was great. And so we're going to be kicking it off in February. We're going to start our planning in earnest. But we already have some great things in store. So the calendar is one of our fundraisers for the 4th of July. Did you go last year?
No, we didn't. The baby was small. So we actually went to the top of the cemetery and you can see the fireworks there and in the surrounding area around you.
Really?
Set them off. Yeah, just a little bit, but
okay.
But you could see stuff down. I don't even know if it was towards like Spring City, just fireworks here and there.
Kimberton.
And just
Waltz's.
Oh yeah.
And I think just private residents blowing stuff up too. Yeah, just you can get a good 360 view from the top there now. So we went there. Yeah.
So this year will everything be on the 4th? Yes. So casual dress day benefits go forth. Thank you, Joe. That's so nice. Christy says her dad would love calendar.
Yeah, I'll get another one for you then. Yeah.
Yes, everything will be on the 4th. So 4th of July is always on the 4th of July. I know it can be confusing. Some people think like, is it on the weekend or whatever? 4th of July is a Monday this year, and everything will be on the actual 4th. Yes. And we'll be working with the Rotary again this year with the parade. So there'll be a parade, street fest, and
Ducks.
Fireworks. Oh, and ducks, of course. Everybody loves that goddamn duck. All right. A few news and announcements. Foundation for Pottstown Education, Shrek the Musical, is on February 26th, just about a month away. Go to Foundation for Pottstown Education and buy your tickets for Shrek the Musical. It's a really fun show. And this is a great fundraiser for the Foundation for Pottstown Education, which, as we know, supports so much for the Pottstown School District that the school district is not able to fund themselves. They send kids to the early college program. They bought all the Chromebooks during the pandemic, and they support so many other things that the school board just doesn't have in the budget to support. So go see Shrek. It's always a great time. And I did see the menu for the event. It looks really great. The kids in the culinary program at the CTE do an excellent job.
My son Adam is in the culinary arts program.
I thought you were going to say he was in the play.
No,
he's in the culinary arts.
Yeah, he's doing culinary arts.
That kid is like a Renaissance man. He's an athlete. He's a musician. He's a chef.
I do have to give, I think all three of my kids are in one way, shape, or form. They're well-rounded individuals. I'm proud of them.
Yes.
Yeah. I did put a link up in the chat for Foundation for Pottstown Education. You can click on that. It'll take you over to their web page, or you can cut and paste that and save it for later after the show so that you can get your tickets. I'm sure you could also probably get a ticket to the gala.
Special event. Special event. All right, we're running up against 7, so I'm going to buzz through these. Career fair at Graterford, now known as SCI. Correction. What is it? Something correction.
State Correctional Institution
/ Graterford.
Yes.
Career
better
fair
known as
on February 1st from 2 to 6, February 2nd from 9 to 1. Jobs all the way up and down the entire job chain.
Correct.
Janitors, food service, prison guards, office administration. Yeah. Everything.
They have a full staff of maintenance workers over there. They have carpenters, plumbers, electricians, pipe fitters,
right?
Anything you can imagine.
Trades.
All the trades. Yeah.
Great state bennies, folks.
Yep.
Yeah. So you notice that we are not at pub tonight. So we hope Adam gets up and running soon. But speaking of Adam, he is playing at Rivet on Saturday, February 5th. Rivet has a lot of great shows coming up. There's too many for me to announce right here.
Go to their Facebook
page and you can see there's a lot of really, really great shows. We now have this awesome music venue in Pottstown. It's really, really cool. Get a babysitter. Go out, see some music.
Yeah, we do need to start getting out and doing things. I'll definitely put that on the short list.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's close by, and they've got that Pennsylvania liquor license, so they close at 11. So you'd be like you'd be home and in bed by 11:15. It's great. It's great for old ladies like me. Designer Bag Bingo is this weekend at the State Street Entertainment Hall up by the Old Giant. This benefits Phillies Fire Company, our neighborhood fire company.
Yep. My son Patrick is a member.
Yep. So that is Saturday, January 22nd. Doors open at 5. Bingo starts at 6:30. Go support the Phillies Fire Company. The writers group we already talked about, but we'll mention it again. Wednesday, January 26th. The next day on Thursday, I would like some people to come on the show and report back to us.
This guy's
only if it's good.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good time, do not come on the show. Yeah, do not come on.
So that is Wednesday at one of my favorite places, Samana Holistic Center, which is in the old Roller Mills building at South Street and Hanover.
Yeah.
Is it Queen?
Yeah. South.
Yeah. Yeah. Next Wednesday, our friends at the Rotary Club are hosting a walkthrough at the fire department at Goodwill's right over here with Chief Hand. Love that guy. So if you are interested in attending that, you can get with one of our Rotary friends, several of whom you know from the show.
Deb Penrod,
Bill,
Nicole Matz,
Jamie Sanchez, Tammy Vontor, any of those folks. Or if you don't know anybody at the Rotary, just let Matt and I know. We'll hook you up.
They also have a Facebook page, Pottstown Rotary. Yep. You can go on there, and if you I always remind people that if you want to go to one of these events, just ask a Rotarian.
And you go as their guest.
For free.
For free. Yep.
Yeah.
They did a program at Ryer's Horse Farm.
I saw pictures
Jamie,
of
one
that.
of them posted a picture. It looked like a really nice time.
Looks like they had a good time.
Great. PTK, which is the Honor Society at the Montgomery County Community College.
We now know this.
Thank you to executive producer, happy birthday, Judy Green, is having a community cleanup. This is a couple of months away, but putting on your calendar, folks. I know that Porchtonians love to pick up trash. We know it. They do.
They do. I don't know how much people love it, but they get it done.
Get out and pick it up,
done.
and then you see that it looks better and it's great.
My wife is an advocate trash picker upper around our neighborhood, for sure.
Yeah. April 23rd. So that looks like it's to be in conjunction with Earth Day, which is April 22nd. So the cleanup is April 23rd from 11 to 3, meeting at the North Hall parking lot of Montgo College, which we know is on High Street at Manatawny, the old Kiwi shoe polish factory.
That's correct. That's the North Campus.
Yes, North Hall, exactly. The Vets Stand Down is this Saturday. So if you are a vet, you are welcome to Veterans Island at Memorial Park from 10 to 12. Clothing, a hot meal, and more. They can put you in touch with some resources if you are a veteran in need of resources. This fourth Saturday of the month, it's in Pottstown, but they also have one the second Saturday of the month in Reading.
Mike was just letting us know that it's rain, sleet, snow. It's all weather event.
Oh, yeah, because they have the pavilion over there.
They have the pavilion. Yep. So if you need help, if you need assistance, or you want to participate as a volunteer to help give back, head on down there. Yep. They're going to be there all weather conditions.
Yep.
Unless
10 to 12 on Saturday.
Unless the park is flooded. But you never know. They might have like a landing craft or something that they
have
float.
one of those duck boats.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But I think that's what he was trying to get at, was that they're always going to be there.
You don't have to worry about it being canceled.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. None of this it's too rainy.
Right.
We're there for you.
I did talk to Mike. They are serious about getting veterans help. So if somebody doesn't have their paperwork or their right stuff, they need help getting ID. They need help getting back.
They don't have their DD-214.
Maybe they don't.
They're like, I swear I'm a vet. I don't have my DD-214.
Right.
And they'll say, come on down. We'll help you out. Obtain the whatever you need necessary. Great.
Mike's very serious about it. I'd probably get some type of update from Mike about what's going on in veterans some weeks every day.
Yeah.
He's hardcore.
Yeah. Good. Thank you for all that hard work. Saturday, January 29th, Soup Bowl fundraiser. I love the Soup Bowl fundraiser because I love Art Fusion. It is limited to 75 tickets. When I bought my tickets earlier this week, there was only like 30 tickets left. So if you're interested in going to the Soup Bowl fundraiser and getting some delicious soup and supporting Art Fusion, please go to their website and buy your tickets now because they're almost sold out. Tickets are $25. They usually have like 12 to 14 different soups. And you can browse their galleries and learn about the classes that they do there. And it's a really great space. One of my very favorite places. Brooke Martin said she had a good time at Ryer's.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
I think she was kind of scared of horses too. I got that impression from some of her.
Got that impression, Brooke. Is that so? Were you a little scared? Or maybe just not familiar with horses? Like, I don't know if I'm necessarily scared of horses. I'm just not that familiar with them.
I'm not either. And they have their own brain and they make their own decisions.
And they're large.
Yeah, they're huge. And they have metal feet. Like that's
yeah, they're huge with metal feet.
Well, yeah, I'm a big PA farm show fan, but I give a horse any large farm animal a wide berth.
Yeah. I
have a lot of respect.
Yeah, good. That's exactly how it should be. Our friends at Hobart's Run are doing a community community yard sale. Planning it for June 4th. I'm bringing this up early because people are maybe, clearing out their house and gathering up their stuff. So keep your stuff for the yard sale. It is bring your own table. It's $10 per table. So you have to bring your own table and it's a $10 fee. And then you could set up your stuff and it's like a big yard sale. So that's planned for June 4th. So just start gathering your stuff up, keep it in your closet, keep it in your garage or whatever until the yard sale. And it will be at Edgewood Cemetery, large grassy area on their grounds. So there you go. That's you. And that's all I got. And it's 7:07.
Nice. We're going to break it down. Mike Murphy is thanking everyone for their support of veterans down at the Memorial Park. And the coalition.
Horses go barefoot.
Yeah,
no metal feet, but still.
They're still a 1,000-pound creature. I'm going to go back to some of our captions and put them on after or while I'm doing the outros. So Josh D. Taylor, author and writer, a Pottstownian. Check out his book. There are links in the chat. I put them up multiple times. You can also find Josh on Facebook by typing in author Joshua D. Taylor. Support him. He's going to be at Samana Holistic Center doing he is going to be facilitating a writer's roundtable. So if you live in the Pottstown area and you're interested in becoming involved in writing, you are a writer, or just curious to see what writers talk about, sign up and join Josh for the Writers Roundtable.
If you can't make that one, we do have another one on February 9th. So if you can't miss this one, there will be more.
Thanks.
Writers of the Roundtable featuring Sir Joshua D. Taylor.
There you go. There you go. We are Porchcast Pottstown. We've been live at Wolf Baldwin and Associates. This is a first for us. We came down here because our normal location, Pottstown United Brewing Company, is closed tonight. Hopefully they will be back open soon. If you're planning on going there over the weekend, I would give them a call or check their Facebook page to make sure that they have gotten through some of their infrastructure problems.
But we
still support them.
We love them. And please, we can't wait to go back there and get some loaded tots.
There you go. My name is Matt Green. I am one of the hosts here. I am also with Glocker Real Estate. I am your local real estate expert. Please call me if you need help buying or selling residential and commercial real estate in the borough of Pottstown or the surrounding area. That means Berks, Chester, and Montgomery counties. Amy Wolf is my lovely co-host. She's also the business manager here at Wolf Baldwin and Associates, bringing you fine legal service in the borough of Pottstown since 1973. We are Porchcast. Let's talk soon.
Have a great weekend.